Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of the Real Housewives of New York City, Season 12, Episode 25, Secrets Revealed. You know I get a kick out of the Secrets Revealed episodes, and this one, I'm going to tell you right from the jump. If you haven't seen it, try to find a way to watch it. It is completely worth it. It's not so much secrets revealed. I think I've talked about this before with Beverly Hills. It isn't so much that big secrets are being revealed as much as we're getting like behind the scenes stuff, never before seen footage, stuff like that. Yeah. And so this episode starts off with, let's just say, alternative taglines for the ladies. We start with Dorinda. It was lit. Is that the word the young people use? Then Sonia's is, with assets like this, why do I have to work, baby? Ramona's, really? 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 Leah's, shots fired! These are like iconic moments, you guys. Tinsley,
Shut up!
and finally, Luann. I'm not the kind of girl that's wham bam, thank you, Luann. You know what I mean. And if those weren't good enough, you guys, we then move on to just an amazing montage of one great scene after another. We've got Leah in the Hamptons with the tiki torches and screaming and fighting with Sonia. And then we see 30 minutes later, she's on top of her in the bed. You know I love you, right? And they're drunk out of their minds. And then 15 minutes after that, they're fighting again. We see Ramona crying. I just want a man to love me, respect me, want me. Dorinda being insane, to Sonia pulling her mic out of her shirt and talking into it and telling Leah, you talk into this. It's just so bizarre. And then the ladies just laughing, having fun, and eating and eating and eating. Something you don't see on a few of the other franchises. I feel like the Beverly Hills ladies, you don't really see them eat. And not like you see these women eat, like actually taking bites of food. And then we have the Great Egg Bake-Off of 2019. This is in the Hamptons at Ramona's house, and it is Luann's eggs de Française versus Dorinda's poached scramble. Oh, Dorinda tells us that she has been wanting to do the egg off for a very long time. And watch out, eggs à la Française, because poached scramble has come to town. Now, my method is I scramble the eggs and then I poach the scrambled eggs. I keep the spoon at the side of the pan. It's all in the wrist where I create a tornado-like environment. Okay. Am I the only one that is thinking that she creates a tornado-like environment wherever she goes, whether eggs are involved or not? Side note, Dorinda's looks like a cross between raw biscuits and mashed potatoes. It's not appealing to me. You know, she plates it up in like three mounds. I don't know. When it's finished and they're plating them, Luann said, what are you, killing them with butter? Well, you added that truffle, so I had to up my game. If you're going to bring it on, let's bring it on. It ended up in a tie. All the ladies loved them both, except Tinsley. I think Tinsley hated them both. She likes her own eggs, I guess. But everyone said, oh, I think they're both great. It ended in a tie. And so far, you guys, I'm loving this Secrets Revealed. I'm so glad I'm watching this episode. They're all just being silly and competitive, but like in a fun way. And, you know, everyone's having a good time, including us, the viewers. Oh, next we see a whole thing on Ramona's signature drink. And it's funny because it'll be like a little montage of her at the bar telling them what she wants, interspersed with some of the diary room conversations with the other ladies, and them saying what the signature drink is like. And it's funny. It starts with actually Sonia saying, I couldn't roll my eyes back in my head far enough when you're talking to me about Ramona's signature drink. And then you see this whole big, I want a shot of vodka, not 2 shots or 3 shots, Leah. Just 1 shot of vodka in an oversized Cabernet glass with a stem. I like a stem. Lots of ice, muddled mint, club soda, a lime wedge on the side, and a straw. Oh, and another club soda on the side with no ice, so that as you're drinking it, you can keep replenishing it with club soda. That's not a lot of vodka then, right? It sounds like she's nursing this drink all night and just adding more club soda to that 1 single shot of vodka. I don't know. Am I on Leah's side here? Okay, now there is a game for us, for the viewers at home, and it's called What Happens Next? So Bravo shows us never before seen footage, and then they stop it, and we're given a multiple choice of what we think is the next thing that's going to happen. Round 1 is from Tinsley. Oh, let me just say this. If you guys haven't seen the episode yet and you want to play the game yourself, stop this video right here and you can pick it up again at this timestamp. For those of you who don't care, I'm going to be playing the game as I'm watching the show here, but I'm also going to reveal what the answer is, okay? All right, so round 1, this is Tinsley telling us, in Newport, Leah and Sonia had an argument about whether or not Leah could afford a pricey vest. So now we see the scene, and Leah is super drunk. Her sister Sarah is there, and they're at that outdoor restaurant. And Leah stands up behind Sonia, and she goes, Sonia, I'm going to tell you why you're a mean, mean person. And Ramona's looking at Sonia. Ramona's across the table from Sonia, and she's like, Don't engage. Don't answer her. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. And then she looks over at Sarah and she goes, control your sister. I know it's your older sister, but the younger sister needs to control the older sister right now. But doesn't stop Leah. She goes, if you really thought I was having financial difficulties and you're such a nice person, why would you try to pressure me then into buying that $2,000 vest that I won't ever even wear? Guess why? Because you're a nasty bitch. Ramona goes, unacceptable. And her sister is here. Like, so what is that supposed to mean? Leah, yeah, my sister is here. And now Sarah really is kind of trying to like rein her in. She's like, hey, come on, Leah, sit down. Then Tinsley says, what happens next? A, Leah screams at her sister for not having her back. B, Sonia and Ramona hide under the table. C, I get a call from my dogs. D, Luann starts singing. Okay, my guess is that it's going to be that Tinsley gets a call from her dogs, because that is so absurd. Also, because Tinsley is the one reading this question to us, I think it's probably going to have something to do with her. I mean, of course, the other ones are entirely possible. Luann breaking into song. Yeah, probably. But I think, because it seems so weird, that it's probably whoever is like babysitting her dogs, whether it's Dale or whether she hired somebody. She probably got a call, like a video chat call, and they've got her dogs. That's going to be my guess. All right, let's find out. Wrong. It was B. Sonia and Ramona hide under the table. I did not see that one coming. Dorinda goes over there and she's like, get up off the floor. That's embarrassing. You're grown-ass women. You're in your 50s and 60s. You won't be able to get up again. Okay, round 2. This is read to us by Leah. And if you haven't watched the episode and you don't think you're going to, I should say that they are like, it's like their confessional. They're in their homes. And I think there are parts where they read the question. It has been filmed recently. Side note, Leah's look here, not great. She's got this giant choker that says sex in like glittery letters. It's so tacky. It's huge. It's like 3 times the size it should be. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, it looks like one of my craft projects where the letters are made out of cardboard and then dipped in glitter. And no, I'm not going to be wearing that next week. So let's get that out of our heads right now. But that's only part of it. She also has bangs. I don't hate bangs, for the record. I don't love bangs when somebody's hair is like super, super long, like down to their waist. And then bangs, I don't like that huge contrast. If somebody had hair maybe this length and they had kind of a fringy bang, I mean, I'm okay with that. The really egregious part of this whole thing was that her hair was really brassy. And I thought unevenly colored. I don't know, guys. I mean, is this a COVID thing? I don't know. I don't want to attack her too much because she lives in New York City. I know they really shut down with COVID. It is just possibly a home job. I don't know. That's what it kind of looks like, though. All right, whatever. Moving on to her question. This is round 2. And Leah said, in Sonia's townhouse, Ramona talks to Sonia about Dorinda, and they discuss how they can help her. So now we cut to the footage. It is Ramona saying to her, I want to talk about Dorinda. What are we going to do about her? In Sonia's confessional, she said, you know, sometimes I wonder if Ramona is really concerned about Dorinda or if she just wants to hate on her. Now we're back in the scene and Ramona said, I don't know how to help her. Can we get her to see a therapist or something? And Sonia said, well, she is seeing that life coach. Yeah, but obviously he's not helping her. They stop the scene. What happens next? The choices are A, Ramona says that Dorinda needs to go to Peru and do ayahuasca. No, I will tell you that's a no right now because Ramona doesn't know what that is. I promise you. B, Sonia just thinks that Dorinda needs to get laid. C, the phone rings and it's Dorinda saying, I know you guys are talking about me. Or D, they decide to enlist the help of Dr. Phil. All right, like I said, I am automatically eliminating A. You know, my guess is going to be D, even though I think B is entirely true, that Sonia is just saying that she needs to get laid. But, I mean, it's kind of funny. I don't know. I'm just going to take a guess. They think Dr. Phil could help her. Yay! I'm 1 for 2. How are you guys doing? Oh, well, here's a secret revealed. Dorinda had a sex dream about Dr. Phil. Yes. Insert the vomit emoji here. I don't know if I can do that. I'm just saying that. I don't know how to do that on a video. Yeah, she's telling the ladies at a party or something, and she goes, I gotta tell you, he was very frisky. Insert 2 vomit emojis here. All right, round 3. This is Sonia reading this to us now. In the van ride on the way to the weed orchard, all the girls tried to give Tinsley advice on dating. All right, so then they show us the scene. I guess Elise was telling Tinsley, I had that guy for you, but you never followed up on that. And Tinsley said, yeah, I mean, he just didn't look like my type. Elise tells her that she's got to get out of her comfort zone, and your type is not marriage material. You need to branch out. Tinsley said, listen, maybe the guys that I've been with in the past have not worked out for me, but they were nothing like each other. So I guess she's trying to make the point that, like, she does not have one particular type of guy. Luann said, I know, but they weren't good to you, Tinsley. What happened next? A, Ramona refers to Tinsley's ex, Bruce, as Brian. B, Elise tells the ladies that Ramona has gotten her husband's name wrong for a year. C, Sonia tells Tinsley that men in Chicago defecate in front of their ladies. Or D, all of the above. Okay, this one is super easy. It's D, all of the above. I know it's going to be D because here's the thing. B wouldn't even make sense if A wasn't true. Like, Elise isn't going to say out of the blue that Ramona never got my husband's name right for a year unless Ramona first gets Tinsley's boyfriend's name wrong. You know what I mean? So if those two are true, then I believe it is definitely true that Sonia thinks that men from Chicago poop in front of their ladies. Yep, it was all of the above. I'm sure we all got that one right. But Sonia says in her confessional that she's pretty sure that all men poop in front of their ladies, unless they're sophisticated Manhattanites. Round 4, and Luann is reading the question to us. At a family dinner, Leah and her mom disagree about whether Leah ever wanted to get married. All right, so this never-before-seen footage takes place at Sarah's apartment in Brooklyn. I think she's in Williamsburg. And she has a baby. We don't see her husband. We see Leah's brother. Leah's mom, Sarah, and Leah are sitting at the table. And then on the couch next to the table is Kiki, Rob, and a baby that I assume is Sarah's baby. We pick up kind of in the middle of this conversation where Sarah said, oh, I remember when Leah wanted to get married so bad. And Bunny said, I don't remember Leah ever wanting to get married. And Leah goes, are you kidding me? Of course I did. I was 20 years old. I was in a long-term relationship with a 32-year-old guy. I totally wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and it just didn't work out that way. And Bunny's like, but your behavior at the time wasn't saying that. And Sarah's like, Mom, what are you talking about? And Leah goes, she means because I was like, I would go out and party and stuff, but I was 20. What was I supposed to do? Get down on one knee and say, Rob, will you marry me? And she kind of goes over to Rob, and he's laughing. And he's super cute. Yes, Leah, do it, do it, do it. I want them to be married now. Just do it. You guys love your daughter. You love each other. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Bunny, thank you. Bunny said, I would love to have seen these two get married. And she's pointing to Leah and Rob. So then Leah puts her napkin, or puts her head in her napkin. And she said, now Dad's not going to walk me down the aisle. And she's like crying into her napkin. What happens next? A, Rob comes over and comforts Leah. B, Sarah yells at her mother for making Leah cry. C, Leah's entire family laughs at her. D, Leah throws a ravioli at her mother. Okay, well, it's not D because that's a nod to the ravioli she tossed at Ramona when they were in Newport. So it's A, B, or C. I totally could imagine that Sarah yells at her mom, and I would love it if Rob went over and comforted her, but I think it's going to be C, that they all laughed, because I think Leah's kidding. I don't think she's really crying. I think she's pretending because her dad's here. Why can't he walk her down the aisle? He's not dead. I think she was just like, oh, boo-hoo. Like, I think it's just I think she's kidding. So I think they all break into laughter. All right, let's see. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, I was right, but that is not what I thought at all. Because she really is crying. And also, oh my God, you guys, her dad is sick. I did not know that, or I didn't remember it. Okay. So she is genuinely crying, and they laugh. But most of all, Bunny, who almost can't control herself to the point where Sarah said, don't pee in your pants. I'm stunned. Yeah, this is maybe a glimpse into why she has troubles with her mom. Yeah, I did not see that. I'm still taking the point, though, because I did get it right. The next little scene we get is Dorinda and Sonia at Dorinda's apartment, and she has a new trainer there, Jorge, and he is asking them to give him a 4-week commitment. And Sonia said she's doing it with Dorinda because they both need to, get back on track and stuff. So if you thought that last scene was uncomfortable, Dorinda said, and it's Richard's birthday today. Let's all wish Richard a happy birthday. And so they're like, happy birthday, Richard. And then Jorge said, where is Richard, by the way? Dorinda, he's dead. My God, you guys. This segues into a whole workout montage of the ladies. Tinsley and Sonia, not so much into working out. They don't like it. But we do see Leah and Sonia taking a shock therapy class. That looks scary. They're wearing this like a wetsuit thing almost that has these electrodes on it. And the guy kind of wets down certain parts of the suit and certain parts of their skin so that they can really feel the electric shock. I don't know, man. That looked scary and rife with potential danger. Oh, we do get another scene with the Hound, though. Leah says that Martin is always going to be, who she goes back to for training. And that he's not just a trainer, but he's like a therapist and, a psychologist to her. We see this scene of them in the boxing gym. And Martin said, oh, it's hot as a witch's tit in here. And Leah goes, it's cold as a witch's tit. Martin, it's not cold in here, it's hot. Leah, I know, but it's when you use a witch's tit, it's cold. Martin, I don't use a witch's tit. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but this was so worth watching, guys. Now we get a montage of all the behind the scenes of the confessionals with all the different ladies. Sonia's always got food in her teeth, and there's some kind of weird pounding going on in the background of Dorinda's. They have to keep stopping. Luann's was funny. She said something and she's like, okay, that was perfect. Could I get applause sometimes, just to keep my energy up? Tinsley keeps struggling on saying the word accomplishments, and she has to say that line over and over again, 10 times. They all weigh in on Leah's looks, particularly the one with the yellow and red that went all the way down into gloves. They all had a lot to say about that one. Dorinda, it looked like all she needed was a Volkswagen van and Scooby-Doo in the back. In Leah's confessional, she said, I think I did pretty good for my first season. Then we get some of the other ladies talking about what it's like your first season with Housewives. Dorinda said, what happens on your first season is you're lost. What? You're like a toothpick in the ocean. Ramona says, you're not prepared for how many outfits you really need. She also tells us that it wasn't until the season Carol came on that her ex-husband Mario said to her, why don't you dress more like Carol? Just what any woman would want to hear from her husband, right? Why don't you look more like that woman? But she did say that ever since then, she hardly wore a dress, and I just was much more casual. Then we see how little Luann's look changed through the years. I'm pretty classic. Classic and chic. Chic, c'est la vie. C'est bon. C'est bon. She really did all that, by the way. That was not my interpretation. Tinsley says it was very hard to figure out what to wear for the confessionals because it was just, you're just seeing up to here. And she said you kind of had to match the green screen background. So she tended to just wear a lot of solid color blouses that she never would wear in real life, just so she wouldn't clash with the background. I do like that they all chose their own clothes. I mean, I guess you could assume that, but I don't know. After a while, with all the glam squads that these women have and stuff like that, you always think that maybe everything's planned and it isn't even their own clothes, but I guess it is. And I love that they're choosing their own outfits. Now we get all these little random scenes that we have never seen before. They're great little gems. I always used to think, why would this get cut from the show? Yet we get 3 episodes on a dumb fight. I think it's because these little scenes don't really fit into a storyline, but I love them. I wish they would incorporate them throughout the regular season. Not only do I personally not need everything to be a cohesive storyline, but it really makes it seem more authentic. If you think about you and your friends, do you guys have a storyline? I mean, maybe there's a big thing that's going on in your lives and you guys talk about it every time you see each other. But for the most part, you're getting together and you're just catching up, or you talk about little dumb things that happened that day. So, I don't know. I liked it. They did try to make this cohesive by calling it like dating advice, the rules of dating, or something like number 1, always keep the bag. And I wasn't paying that much attention to that. I think the scenes in and of themselves were just fun to watch. The first one was Leah very early on. We did see this during the year. It was really when we first were introduced to Leah, when she was at the gym with Tinsley. Then they went to lunch afterward, and she was telling her about that guy that she broke up with on the plane because he wasn't leaving his wife. He told her on the phone, well, I have presents waiting for you with your doorman. So she went and got them, and she pulls it up and puts it on the table, and it was a YSL bag. And Tinsley's like, ooh, that's nice. So now I don't know if they were shopping or what, but Leah is in a store with Sonia and Luann, and she's retelling the story about how he left this bag. I think they asked, did you thank him for the bag? And she goes, no, I yelled at him. I'm like, I'm not a whore. You can't just give me gifts and expect that I'm going to stay with you. But she's wearing the purse right now. So Luann goes,
so you just put your things in the purse and headed out.
They were all cracking up. It was funny. Then we jump to seeing Ramona on a date. She's like sipping sake, and he goes, oh, that's good. I'm glad you didn't just like shoot it back like a shot, because you don't need to do that. And she goes, oh, what would you say to me if I did? And he said, Ramona. I don't know. It was all weird. The guy was creepy, but he asked her if she could roll her R's. And she said, Ramona, Enrico, Enrico. And she goes, what do people call you? And he goes, well, they call me Enrique. She was calling him Enrico. Oh, God, it's so Ramona. It's so perfect. That wasn't even the end of that scene, because then he said, you make good eye contact. And she said, so do you. Do you think that eyes are the heart of the soul? The heart. And he said, well, certainly the windows of the soul. Oh, that's what I meant. Oh, my God. I want to go on a double date with Ramona just to witness these exchanges up close. I think it would be fun. Now we cut to the ladies all in a van heading somewhere, and Leah is telling them about this guy she's going out with that she calls Pita Chip. And she said, yeah, he owns a kosher restaurant and a pita factory. And Ramona goes, a penis factory? What did she think a penis factory was? Oh, anyway, Leah goes, oh, God, no, I wish. A pita factory. So then she was telling them about how she sexted him, like with a little cute picture of herself with a pita where she covered her vajayjay with it and she put her arm across her boobs. And she sent it to him to be cute. And then about 5 minutes later, he sent it back to her and said, oh my God, dude, she wants it bad. Yeah, this was in the show. I don't know if you guys remember that. that he accidentally texted it to Leah instead of his buddy, whoever he meant to text it to. Oh, we get another little scene with Melinda, who I love, Melinda, Dorinda's sister. This is in the Hamptons, and then Sonia is telling her, I don't know how Sonia knows this, if Sonia was with her in the store or if Melinda told Sonia, but Dorinda didn't know this story in any case. So Sonia tells us that Melinda goes to the supermarket in short shorts. The guy there loves it and thinks her legs look so great. She asked him, "Can you help me with this?" And he said, "With legs like that? Absolutely." And they're all laughing. Melinda goes, "Well, I was like, thank you. I'll take it." She's so cute. The next little scene is in Leah's apartment with her sister Sarah, and they're looking, she's in the fridge looking for food, and she's like, "Oh, Pita Chip made some whatever. We could have that." And Sarah goes, "I don't think you should have that guy over anymore, Leah. Not after that faux pas." Leah goes, "You mean faux pas?" Now we are at a dinner with Leah. I know it seems choppy, but these were just all these extra little scenes, so they don't really kind of go in a flow. But like I said before, I kind of love them all. Surprisingly, I'm okay with it. I'm the girl who needs everything in order, but I guess because they were all funny. Now we're in a restaurant with Sonia, Luann, Ramona, and Leah. Luann is telling them that they went to Milos in Hudson Yards the other night. And Leah goes, "Yeah, we had a lot of fun, didn't we?" So it was just, I guess, Luann and Leah. And Luann said, "Yes, and as you might imagine, all the guys were after her. Together, we had a great time." And Ramona goes, "And what happened when Leah went to the bathroom?" And Luann goes, "What? When Leah went to the well, I don't know. What happened when Leah went to the bathroom? She was making out with a guy, and Ramona goes, "Yeah, and then you were kissing him." Yes, Leah went to the bathroom and Luann started making out with the guy. Sonia, of course, yells, "Luann, stop kissing other people's guys." Luann, "Oh, it was just a peck. I forgot about it." Ramona goes, "I heard there was tongue." Next, Leah is apparently been going on and on about her dentist. She's in love with her dentist. She dreams about him. She wants to be with him. And now it is a dinner with Leah, Tinsley, Ramona, Avery, and Avery's friends. And the conversation turns to flirting, and if you can wink, I guess Avery can't wink. And so Ramona shows her cute little wink, and Leah shows how she winks. Tinsley gives a real wild wink. And then this turns into Ramona giving the entire table a lesson in sensuality while she caresses her wine glass in a very seductive manner. Now there's a scene after they filmed, or maybe before they filmed the reunion. They were in this like warehouse space where they had a bunch of the furniture from different reunions, all the way back to the first. I guess the chair that Andy was sitting in for this reunion was a piece from the set of the very first reunion. So he's walking Ramona through, do you remember when this is? And how about this gold couch? How about this? And stuff like that. This episode ends with a montage of, I guess you would say, reaction shots from other patrons in the restaurant or from a waiter or just peripheral people that are on the show. It was just so funny and delightful. There's nothing for me to really even recap. Some of them I actually caught at the time, and I talked about it during my recap when it happened. Like when they were in Rhode Island and they were having that horrible fight at the table and Leah threw the ravioli. There was a guy in the background with a martini. I mean, I did a close-up of his face because it was so funny. They showed him in this montage. It was just hilarious. And we end on that. What a joy this episode was from beginning to end. And in stark contrast to the secrets revealed for the Beverly Hills Housewives, there was not a fight to be had. It was just pure laughter and fun. And I urge you to actually watch the episode if you can. It's well worth it. But I'm so happy you came here to watch my recap of it. And I think that is a finally going to put a nail in season 12 of The Real Housewives of New York City. Thanks for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, let me say this before I go. I have a huge question mark on whether I am going to recap Orange County this season. I feel like it might be the opposite of joy for me, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to watch, because I do kind of want to know what's going on with the ladies, but I think I'm going to get angry, and I am very, very conflicted. That's what the huge question mark is. So I am not promising that I'm going to recap. What I might end up doing is checking in with you guys every few episodes, maybe once a month, maybe a little bit more. I will do something where I kind of update with highlights from that point, maybe the first 3 episodes or 4 episodes, something like that. But I'm not even sure I'm going to do any of it. I'm just kind of toying with different ideas. I may actually recap every single one again. I'm also curious about halfway through, production shuts down and the women are filming themselves. Like, I'm super curious about that. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have already begun my season 1 series, and I am starting with Potomac. Season 1, episode 1. If you guys have never seen the show before, like me, and you want to follow along as I do the recaps, I found them on Peacock. There is a free version of Peacock that you can download on your devices. And I want to say Hulu, but don't hold me to that. I think I'm going to do Orange County next. And that's the oldest one. They're on season 15. Anyway, those are just a couple updates. Look for season 1 of Potomac from me next week. And maybe Orange County. We'll see. And I am going to attempt Salt Lake City, but that doesn't start until November 11th. So we have a little bit of time before that. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you join me for the beginning of Potomac. It's going to be fun. Even if you have watched it before, it might be fun to go back to season 1 and see where it all began. All right. Thank you guys. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Stay safe. I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye.